Hello Tech Genius, I am Ravi. Have you ever imagined a place where learning is as dynamic as the technology shaping your world? Then here's a deal. With iMatix, you can make sure the learning is exciting, impactful right from the beginning. You have interactive sessions with expert-led courses. In the world of tech, from data science to cloud computing, it's not just about a session, it's about doing, building, learning by solving real problems. So let's get started. The other thing is we didn't cover arithmetic calculation, right? And the mathematical operation kind of things. We see total base pay amount here. Total base pay is nothing but a kind of compensation component. Whatever employee is getting as part of base pay amount it delivers, that actually gives the value whatever base pay salary that employee is getting. Now, mostly you'll be using this in worker, and the other areas is compensation related reports. And compensation and labor in the sense when you're actually making any kind of compensation changes, making any kind of compensation releases, you will be using this one. Based on this value, whatever getting increased is a kind of salary increase. Based on this base pay, whatever percentage that can be given for bonus pay, that would be a kind of bonus pay increase. Now let's take a scenario. Whatever salary that is getting populated for all the employees when we run this report, 10% of the salary has been decided to go for a bonus amount first as part of compensation change process. Now you've been requested that as part of the review process for all the employees, 10% of their base pay has to get increased, has to get added to the paycheck. If there is a case, we need to have a calculation that does the kind of calculation based on base pay. 10% of salary has to be a kind of another component has to be created based on this field, which is nothing but a kind of bonus thing. 10% of base pay should be a bonus component which should be going for an employee. That compensation team has asked us to return the 10% amount in a kind of separate column that can be considered as bonus amount. Now let's do that how it actually comes. As I said, arithmetic calculation will perform all the mathematical operations. Now we wanted to have 10% of base pay to be coming as bonus component, right? Total base pay. We added a calculated field with arithmetic calculation that does give the 10% of the amount bonus. When we run this report based on this, we just filled in a copied version because the temporary report was about to, and I copied this and I added this character if it had created to this copied version. Now we need to see a column that gets added 10% of the bonus pay. You can see here, this is the actual total base pay and 10% of bonus amount has been added here with the calculation that we have made. And in compensation reports, you might be asked to do some kind of calculations based on the existing salary fields to get a new value that can be added to employee compensation component, whether it is bonus pay or any other bonus pay or things. You can add this kind of calculations to the compensation fields. Mostly you will be doing this kind of calculations in compensation. But if you know the kind of process of doing calculations, you can replicate the same in any other kind of requirements. Any questions here? Arithmetic calculation. Any questions here? Clear with arithmetic? It's simple. There is no kind of multiple add-ins of the other complex things here. Just a kind of calculation of what we just do in normal way with the calculations. That's the same, but we just need to choose the function and get this done. Anyone have any questions before I jump to the other function? The other important calculation function is lookup. Lookup is one thing that actually used in most of the reports. Lookup calculated field function is used whenever you wanted to return the related business object value into the primary business object. Now let's say you are actually getting dependents. Now in order to get dependence age or dependence relationship, you cannot directly get this worker. You don't have a relationship field sitting with worker. This is a calculated field. We don't have a delivered field that actually gives relationship because there is sitting in dependent business object, not in worker business object. Now you wanted to get that relationship into the worker. Since I'm not able to get the relationship here, I'm not able to get the relationship with the deliver field that gives me relationship. This is a kind of calculated field we have, but I don't wanted to use this calculated field because I wanted to show how that works with you. Since I don't have any relationship direct field under worker business object, but I wanted to have that instead of using dependence. Instead of using dependence here, business object value called the relationship. I don't want to get like this. I wanted to have this relationship coming under worker object. I wanted to get this to be coming under worker object. Now that's where our lookup related function comes, where it pulls the value that are sitting in related business object. You'll be using most of the cases lookup to actually play around with the values that are sitting in different business object. Now CF lookup relationship. Dependent is one thing. We are trying to take this, and from here we are trying to call the relationship value. But you're seeing, when I try to do this, I'm not able to get the dependent. I'm not able to get the dependent delivered field that I wanted to have here, and from there call the relationship. I'm not able to get this one. The reason why I'm not able to get here is because you see here, this was the value that I'm trying to pull here. The reason why this is not coming here is this is a multi-instance value. This is a multi-instance value. Field type is multi-instance, which you cannot directly get into the lookup, which you cannot do. One more calculation in order to get that value into the lookup. I'm going back changing this to extract single instance. Take the function called extract. This is very important. You will be doing most of the calculations, complex calculation similar to what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to get a relationship value in the worker business object, but I was not able to do it because dependent is a kind of multi-instance value. But in order to get that dependent into worker business object, I need to actually change that multi-instance to single instance. Then add to the lookup and add the lookup to the report. Now I'm taking the single instance. I should be getting dependency or not. You are the dependence, not specific about what the relationship is. I just wanted to have just a relationship value. I'm not giving any specific condition here. I will take relationship. Now I got relationship returning in single instance. Now I can take this value to the lookup. I can take single instance, and from here I can take relationship. Before that I was not able to get the relationship. I was not able to add dependency. For that I have created one more extract single instance calculation, this one, and added dependence here, added relationship here, and use that in a kind of lookup in order to get that value. Now I should be getting relationship value from this lookup. If I add to the report, I should be able to get that value within worker business object only rather than this one. We have relationship. Names for this, let me name it good. Now I was able to get a relationship within worker business object. Rather than adding related business object as dependent, I was able to call relationship from worker. Now if I run this, I should be getting relationship from worker object only. That's where you know you'll be getting some kind of requests to pull the values from different business objects. When you're trying to pull the value from different objects, if it is not a single instance, not a multi-instance, if it is just a value, you can do through lookups. But if you are not able to do through lookups because of multi-instance, you need to create a single instance like this. Call the single instance in the lookup, and this lookup can be added to the report which you will be getting. This relationship within worker business object only. You can see now we are getting relationship from worker business object. This is one of the mostly used to calculate the function process in complex reporting. When you are being asked to have the value to be sitting in the primary business object from related, you need to think of two things. One is, if it is not a multi-instance, you can directly get it from lookup. But if it is a multi-instance, you need to create that multi-instance, the single instance, and call that single instance into lookup, and then lookup can be added to the report. Any questions? Any questions on lookup? Lookup function is nothing but which is used to actually pull the values that are sitting in related business object. When you are trying to pull the value that is sitting in related business object, you need to make sure that if it is multi-instance, you need to create the sentence and call that single instance into your lookup function, lookup related calculated field function. And that can be added to the report. There will be any questions you guys have? Are you guys clear? Any question? Lookup is an important function that we will be using in calculated fields. In most of the complex reporting areas, you should be getting lookup thing. If you are not clear, let me know. Or let me do one more example. Now we try to get relationship from worker business object through a lookup. Now we will try to get some of the benefits from related business object in the worker. We will see how that works. Benefit election is similar to what we discussed about dependency. Now we wanted to know what is the plan that employee is enrolled into benefit. We need to use either delivered field. I do not know whether delivered field comes here, benefit plan. We do not have direct benefit plan under worker business object. We cannot actually know what plan that employee is enrolled. We have one field actually gives all the benefit plans. This is a multi-instance which gives all the plans, but I do not want to have all the plans to be coming in a single row. I wanted to have a single one row forward record has to show the benefit plan that employee is enrolled in. I am not able to find the field called benefit plan here because that is not sitting in worker business object. If I go to this business object benefit elections benefit plan, now I get them because this is sitting in benefit elections. Only when you use this as a business of a related business object, I am getting this one. If I use worker, I am not getting this one. Now we will try to get this value into worker business object. The same steps what we have done here, we will try to re-perform this. Try to get benefit plan under worker business object. Same process I am doing here. what function I need to use. Extract single instance benefit elections, and from here what I wanted to have. I wanted to have benefit plan. If you wanted to have any specific plan, you can actually write a condition to this one. I do not have any kind of specific plan. I wanted to have the one that actually comes with the plan, benefit plan. I got single instance, which is actually pulling the benefit plan. Now this can be added to the lookup function. Copy this one and create a lookup. What is the field that I need to get here? Benefit plan. I am able to get the benefit plan. Now this can be added to the report, which actually pulls the benefit plans of employee. Now I do not need to add this one. I do not need to add this one. You can just add worker business object and plan here. You can get the benefit plan that employee is enrolled into. Earlier I was not getting this. I used to do benefit elections, which was a multi-instance field. But since I wanted to have that into worker business object, which is primary, I created a single instance, changed that to single instance, and then that simulation is used in lookup related value function. These are the areas where we can actually use calculated fields, mostly in complex reporting, where we are actually creating multiple calculations, evaluations. We have lots of calculations that will bring through to our first conditions, text constants and lookups. We'll be using and extract single instance. We have created such kind of calculations using the most of the reporting, where some kind of values that are not straightforward, not sitting in a primary business object, you can actually play around them, getting to vary from the related in the process that we have seen far. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.